Hello everybody, and I want to welcome you all to the start of a new LP. This game is called The Cat Lady. I will tell you right now, it actually really has nothing to do with cats, but it is a very, very interesting game. It is also very dark though, however, so I want to kind of put out a warning before I start this for those of you who may be interested in viewing this game. It deals with some very, very depressing and some very serious things that might upset some people. Some examples include depression, suicide, self-harm, murder, torture. There's a lot of blood. The artwork is very, very dark. So if you're not into those things, or perhaps you're a little bit younger, I would probably try and find something else to watch. I'm playing this on the PC. This is a PC game on Steam, and I wanted to share it all with you because I played it about a year ago now at this point, and I just loved it. It is really phenomenal in a way that's hard to describe. It is very, very dialogue heavy, as we are going to see, so probably not one of the more fast-paced LPs out there, and it's actually probably not going to be a lot of me talking. It's very linear, and so we're just going to sort of roll with it. A little bit something different for the channel, but hopefully you guys are going to enjoy. It's a relatively short game, so we're just going to start a new game fresh.
My name is Susan Ashworth. I live alone in this old two-bedroom flat. I rarely go outside. Some would say it's a lonely life, and I guess that's true, but I don't like people's company. Not lately, anyway. I only trust my cats these days, and I will miss them dearly, but they will understand, like they always have. Teacup stays with me till the end. He watches me, as if he knew. Because earlier tonight, I swallowed a whole bunch of pills. They're legal, of course, prescribed by my doctor for my sleeping problems. But I've taken 34 of them, all I could find in the cupboard, and now the room around me spins in a blurry tango as my heart slows down. Any second now, I will be dead. I feel calm. I'm ready for it. I've only got one thing to say now. Thanks for nothing. Goodbye.
So that was our prologue, and we move right into chapter 1. And I think the prologue very accurately shows the tone of the game, so have that prologue in mind as we go through the game. And it introduced us to Susan, who we get to play as. She is our protagonist. Now, unfortunately, this game does not have functionality with a controller, so I'm forced to use the keyboard, which is okay. There's only really the arrow keys that you use more than anything. The only problem is my keyboard is very, very loud, so I'm going to try my best to minimize that as much as possible. So if you keep walking right, you'll come to this hut. You can go ahead and try and examine the door. I feel strangely drawn to this place. I must find a way to unlock the padlock and get inside. So obviously it has a padlock, it's locked, we can't go in. And Susan will only walk at one speed at any given time. Sometimes she walks faster than she is now, but there is no way to change the speed at which she walks, so this is just something we have to deal with. But it's a really good way to absorb all of the things that are going on in the background, I think. As you can see, everything is in black and white. It's got a very, very washed out sort of dark atmosphere and art style, but I really like it. It obviously suits this game. And then of course some objects are colored. Usually it means that they're important, but not always. So the ambulance is blocking our way, and there's no way for us to open it. But if we walk left, we'll hear a noise.
Huh? What's making that noise? Hello? Who's there? Answer me!
And then we can go right to inspect the ambulance again. And you can see that this is actually Susan's body, which is very weird. And now we can examine ourselves. I look so calm, which is what she had said when she wrote her suicide note. She's ready for death and she seems calm, so I wonder if this is right after she took her life. My eyes, just about one thing I liked about myself. Even now, they still shine a little. Beautiful green eyes. And then we can open her mouth and we can take the key that's inside. Completely 100% optional to investigate all the different points. If you know what to do, you can speed run through the game as quickly as possible, but I'm gonna try and investigate most of our options. And it's very clear that we're not getting out that way, so we need to find a way that we can use that key. Probably on that padlock. So I'll have to waltz Susan back there. And that deer is going to come in handy later. But we'll ignore him for now, and we're going to investigate the hut. There's a few things to look at here. There's a machine. Too long a sacrifice can make a stone of the heart. Would it take another sacrifice to turn it back? Maybe I'm being silly. This is just some old machinery after all. And if we try to switch it on, it doesn't work. There's no switch or button. Okay, interesting. Talking about a sacrifice, so we'll have to keep that in mind. There's some planks on the wall here. The sign underneath says emergency power switch, danger. We can't pull the planks off the wall with our bare hands. And then of course, if you look through, you can pretty much make the same deduction as you could by examining it. There's a switch or something on the other side. So we're gonna have to try and figure out a way to get those planks off of the door. So we're just gonna have to keep going in the other direction now, since the other way was cut off. And we're gonna want to follow this deer. And he's just gonna keep going left. So So like I said, very linear. Most parts in this game are fairly linear. There are a few places later on with some really, really good puzzle solving and things like that where you do have to sort of make your own deductions of where it is that you have to go. Now, before we inspect the body, you can see that there is a door here, and we can't open this one. It's bolted from the other side. There's a rope here, but we're not able to untie it because it's too knotted. A dead body hanging from a tree. I should be scared, but I just feel empty. What's that shiny thing on her neck? Is that a key? So we want that key, but we can't get it because the body is too high out of our reach. We're boxed in from the left and the right. And so now the first little bit
I can't
of
remember this place.
puzzle solving comes in.
Am I lost?
You keep going to the right and you'll find this crow. From this point on, we're going to just follow the crow whatever direction it goes. And it will change direction. And if you get lost in this part or you don't find the crow and you don't follow it correctly, I think you just kind of get lost forever. So you don't want to do that. We don't have to follow it for long. A few screens and we'll find that deer that we saw earlier. Who's done this? Is there anyone else here? Well, I don't know, but if there is, you probably want to pick up this nice knife for protection. And if you examine the door, you can see that it's the door from earlier that we weren't able to open. Now we can open it, and we are now also able to cut the rope. And Susan will find her dead body again. So we're gonna see a lot of that. Susan dies a lot in this game. I look like I'm just sleeping. You can search the pockets, but there's nothing in them. So the only other thing to do is take the key. And once we have done that, we can leave. Okay, so now that we have the key, we're just going to keep walking and see what else we can find. It's a crazy mishmash of different backgrounds and different things going on, and I know it seems a little bit weird, but things that will sort of start to make sense a little bit later on. So if we use the key on the gate, we can head on through.
Welcome to my house, Susan Ashworth. I have been waiting for you, my dear. I knew you would turn up one fine day like this.
Who are you?
I have so many names, it's hard to pick one. But I'm curious, who do you think I am?
There's no wrong or right answer here. You can pick anything you want. She will have a different response depending on what you pick. Are you the devil?
Are you the devil?
I know you don't believe in God. If there is no God, is there a devil? I'm something else entirely. I come when there's something to take, but I never give anything back. I am doom, but I'm salvation too. I am feared by most, but adored by some also. Some like yourself, Susan.
Don't flatter yourself, old lady. I don't even know you.
Well, that's not quite right. I've been around for a while, keeping you company. Always there, you know? Always there. Long enough to know everything about you.
Nobody knows everything about me. Not even myself. What is this place?
This, my dear, is my humble kingdom, and this house is my castle. I rarely invite people in, Just like you, I like my solitude. But you are a special guest, and I'm going to make an exception.
Me? Special? I can tell you now that there's nothing special about me, lady.
Don't bring yourself down, Susan Ashworth. Today, you are my guest of honor.
Oh boy, lucky us.
What will happen next?
Depends on you, Susan. Inside my house, there are dark hallways that lead to places you don't want to see. But there is also something that will make you want to return to where you came from and cherish every single little breath you take. I'm going to make you an offer, Susan. It's a chance only a fool would refuse.
Okay. An offer? What can you offer me?
Let's come inside. It's getting cold out here.
So we have no choice but to follow the lady inside, and we have a chance now to speak to her and get a little bit more of the story. The next episode is probably going to be pretty much all dialogue, but it does sort of set up the entire story, so it is really important. I think I'll stop here and we will continue on trying to figure out what the heck is going on next time. I hope that this first episode has really enticed you guys and you will stick around, and I hope that I will see you next time.